Okay, that's it. I think we've done all the things what needs to be done before the Dhamma talk. Very good. Sorry, my voice seems to be rough. Anyhow, so as always, unprepared. I was just asked whether how much do I do preparation for these Dhamma talks, and coming from Ajahn Chah tradition, Ajahn Brahm tradition, we don't really prepare for the talks too much. Some of us do, but I try not to do too much for it. I try not to just do the last minute, what do you call it, when you do cramming on exams and all that. I try not to do that. So the preparation should come before. Obviously, you cannot help it, but your mind starts thinking about it before a little bit. So you sort of do prepare, but it's in the mind, but not so much. Like I don't usually take so much to the references and all that. But if they're in the mind, they're in the mind. If not, too bad. That's what you're gonna get. So I did ask, what should I talk about today? And my Garfield and Friends mug said today, feel free to waste my valuable time. That's my Garfield mug for today. So my Garfield and Friends here in Newbury, they asked me to give a talk about that. Hang on, what's the quote again? Feel free to waste my valuable time. Okay. Quite often, when we become adults, we start to appreciate our time greatly. When you're young, the time doesn't matter so much. I remember when I was kid, somebody asks you to do things, you just do it. You don't go speculating how many minutes and hours is this going to take out of your life. And I know quite a lot of people. They have this idea that your time is so valuable. If I do this now, it's going to take this out of my life. And as a monk, I was always taught differently. As a monk, I was always said, if there's something to do, you just go and do it. You don't really worry about so much how much it's going to take the time off you. Whether it's, I should be meditating. I don't have time to do this now. I shouldn't just go to, whether it's fixing toilets or plumbing or whatever it is, taking effort into this project here. And it's part of my training, but I always had that idea. I don't really think that somebody's wasting my valuable time. If anything, I have a bit of a other way of thinking. I don't want to waste other people's time too much, so I don't really. It might be one of my interests where I don't. Quite often, I should be asking maybe more help. I think I should do things myself. But if you have this idea that you can just give your time, you give your effort. As a monk, there's not much I can give. I can give my sweat and blood. And I've definitely shed some blood here again doing this project, and sometimes a bit of sweat as well. And I know even now we said that we had the opening ceremony, but as everybody knows, even if you had the building is done, there's always still so much else to be done. We're now cleaning up here, and if you do want to waste your valuable time, please you can come and help us do a little cleanup, if you do wish. But just yesterday, I was outside. We were doing because it's so wet and humid here in Newbury. Maybe you haven't been here, but we in this beautiful environment here, which is living amongst the clouds here. But when you live amongst the clouds, it tends to get wet. So it's very muddy here. So we're doing walking paths. And yesterday I'm so grateful the work we have. My great companions here in the monastery. We were just chipping away, just doing a walking path at a time, and nobody seemed to complain. People know it's a good effort. That being said, I think there was a little bit of complaining, but nevertheless, we we feel grateful that we can give this gift for somebody. The monks are coming here afterwards. I'm myself. I just actually I wanted to say that this will be my last Dhamma talk here from Newbury for quite a while. I'm going back to home or my home at the moment, which I consider my home really is the BSWA, the Bodhinyana monastery. So I'm gonna go back there. I still feel I put a lot of effort here, but I feel that this is my gift. I don't. If you have a gift, you don't take that. If you buy a gift for somebody as a present, it's somebody's birthday, and you're gonna go and gift, and you buy something nice. You don't all of a sudden change your mind. This is now I'm gonna keep it. That's not very good giving. So I feel that my gift is now it's done. I want to give this, wrap this up now, put it in a nice pink ribbon, put it in a beautiful box, give it to the monks who come after me, and that's my gift. As a monk, that's what I give. I also give Dhamma talks. This is my gift. This is what I feel I can connect everybody. I left behind a lot of things as a monk, and as we all do, and so that's why there's only so much I can give, but the effort is what I can give. And that's also what, as these Dhamma talks, and why the preparation should be coming before. You don't start all of a sudden, I have to give a Dhamma talk. All of a sudden, I don't just go start reading books, putting things in place, making sure people think I know something I don't, or I'm something else that I'm not. If I haven't practiced, it really doesn't hold the value. It doesn't really cut the mustard. Ajahn Brahm says to cut the mustard. If the practice is not there before, there's not much I can give. And sometimes I can see on, I've looked at Ajahn Brahm's Dhamma talks or the other monks, and sometimes you see people make comments there like, what does these monks who leave the world behind, what do they have to give? What we have to have and what we can give is that we've been looking our minds a lot longer than everybody else. We've been putting the effort in of enduring those things which you have in the mind. We learn by that way we learn, and that what we can give, that we can show people that this is how you have to do it as well. In the beginning, there is a little bit of effort. In the beginning, there is a little bit of endurance. You just have to be able to just look at it. You have to be able to look at your mind, shine the light into the new corners of your mind. And sometimes it does happen when you start shining the light into the corners of your mind that is not so pretty. But what can you do about that? How can you make those little dusty places even? How can you make them even those places beautiful and less cluttered and something you want to look at? How can you shine the torch into the underneath the bed of your life, and without being worried about how many balls of dust is there? One thing is that it's gratitude. Gratitude always brings your mind at more beautiful place. You look at everything you have in life with an eyes of gratitude and kindness. I know with my life, as always, I have great teachers. I've lived with Ajahn Brahm and all the other monks for so many years now. There's the immediate gratitude when I think of somebody like Ajahn Brahm, and I can see that for a lot of yous, The gratitude for somebody like Ajahn Brahm comes very automatic. Now that we have this project and people are willing to donate their time and effort into this project, they're asking if, can I give this to Ajahn Brahm's kuti? And I'm telling you, if I would allow everybody to buy all the stuff what they want into Ajahn Brahm's kuti, which is here now, it would be up to the brim. It would be the ceiling full of cushions and flowers and this and that, nicks and knacks. Everybody wants to buy, even now, can I buy something for Ajahn Brahm kuti? Can I do this and that? It comes from the gratitude. And that gratitude is the one where it changes your perception. Instead of looking everything as a dusty and not so, quite often it's dull. Quite often it's tiredness comes with it. This, we have these translations in the Nikayas like sloth and torpor comes when you're meditating. What else? A big thing, hindrance, doubt comes in your mind. Those fear, maybe even if you want to start getting into deep meditation. But if you have gratitude, it elates the mind. That is the first step to get your mind into calm state. It's an interesting thing that negativity is really difficult to let go. There's something to it, something to the human mind where we just cannot let it go so easy. Hatred. And quite often we dwell on it, where we make a lot out of it instead of willing to just let it go. There's something to that, especially with the hatred and anger. I know I had a friend of mine, I lived in New York, and he was a very hot-headed person. He was like Italian. And he used to work as a bouncer in nightclubs, and he used to run them and all that. And he said he gets a lot of energy out of hatred. He thrived on it. He used to get in fights all the time, and he was one of these people who didn't seem to care. Some people are like that. It's like water out a duck's back. But even for these people, you carry it with you everywhere you go, and it tires you out after a while. It makes, what happens? That's the one thing I've noticed. If I keep putting the effort or let it happen, if I let the anger be there amongst other unwholesome stage in the mind for too long, your mind goes dull. Your mind goes, it's almost like nothing feels like anything anymore. Whereas the gratefulness and happiness is, you look anything. Ajahn Brahm's simile of that, looking in the poo in the toilet, and it looks beautiful. It's an interesting thing. Like, you're in a monastery, and day to day, everything can be just the same. And all of a sudden, one day, the food tastes good. The food it's like the most beautiful food of you haven't had for weeks. And then you think about it, you contemplate it a little bit. Why? And if your mind is calm, you realize it comes from the happy mind. All of a sudden, I feel elated, and everything feels better. The food tastes good. The monastery looks beautiful. Your friends seem to be nicer to you. Everything is nice. And it comes from that place of quiet mind. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from mind where you put effort into concentration. And that's the reason why Ajahn Brahm really dislikes the word concentration, because that's not what we should be doing. We should be letting the mind calm down. And how do you let it calm down? You have things like the gratitude. And where does gratitude comes from? Where does how do you create gratitude? Well, one thing is to do something nice, and then that will lead into your mind into towards more that into the wholesomeness, and then you can start contemplating all these good things. So first of all, it's almost like a even step before that. But so I remember when I started meditating, New York, really, like I lived there, and it was great. I couldn't get enough of it. I I lived in East Village, and over there, all of us, I just landed on this amazing place where I worked from home, so I had all the time in the world. I work for Google at the moment. I was part of the language group there, and I used to go this. There was this yoga center in I think Bowery Street, and it's in East Village as well, and just within walking distance from my place I lived. And quite often these meditation classes, we don't have this kind of dedicated centers. Most of the world, we don't have these things actually, which is amazing. Another thing which of kudos, a great thing for BSV and Buddhist Society of Victoria, that these centers don't exist. Many places they don't exist. So we were in this yoga studio, and there was different groups coming meditating there. So I used to go with everybody. I used to go. I would have gone 7 days a week, but I think there was only meditation on evenings on 5 days a week. So I used to go with different groups. I went to with the Tibetans. I went with there was just a mindfulness meditation, and there was a Theravada teacher there as well. Interesting enough, the Theravada teacher, he came from this. I'm not sure whether he's Thai tradition or Burmese, but something. He was, as always, Theravada teachers, strict and boring. And the lay teacher was actually, it's very very nice. They were very cool people. They were one thing that drew me into that lay teacher and that group was that they were really just friendly people, and my age group, they were just relaxed, not to this is our tradition, this is how you have to do things. They were very, very just sort of welcoming, and I still feel that I need to I wanted to continue with that. If anything I took from them, I was just sort of just this attitude of relaxedness. If you want to lie down when I'm giving Dhamma talks, I'm not going to tell you off. And quite often in prison, that's what happens. I teach in prisons, and probably when I start again, when I go to WA, and they just appreciate their being just quiet for a while from the hustle and bustle of the life. But so with that, with all those groups, and I really got into the meditation, and there's always something you remember, even from those teachers. Something always clicks, and it's interesting. So after so many years, something just came to me the other night. I was meditating, and I remembered, amongst many other things, one of my teachers over there said that your karma is not like a bank account. Karma doesn't work that way. Karma is not a bank account, he was saying. And they just, I just like, oh yeah, that's, yeah. I don't know, you hear something and it just like strikes a chord and all that. And now I took that on board, and I think like, okay, that's how it is. Karma is not like a bank account. Now I think differently. As a monk, I've been a monk for 9th year is coming now. And I actually now think your karma, it's like bank account. How is it like bank account? How can you draw money from your bank account? By contemplating gratefulness for all the people you come across, or you helped you in life, by putting effort into helping others. doesn't have to be a big thing. I mean, it could be just, you can, just the fact of giving is always emphasized. Is always, we always tell as in Theravada Buddhism is very important part of the giving. And you can see it, like if you feed your dog, you don't think it's like, oh, what a chore it is. It's just, you're happy to give the bowl of food to your dog or your husband. Not comparing dogs and husbands, but that's how quite often it happens. Husbands don't cook that often, so it's you feed the husband, but you take care of the husband and the wife and the children and the dogs and everybody. It's an act of giving, and it feels good. There's no, whether there, is there signs of this? Of course there is. It's in it's in the pudding. It shows you, yes, just taking care of your dog will make you happy. I remember I went to I had this habit when I have something nice. It's quite often it's let's say I have a mandarin or something. I started from those days. I when I was meditating in that with those groups, and then I heard there was a retreat coming, and I was like, oh yes, my first meditation retreat, and they said, oh, it might be a bit too much for you. It's a 1 month retreat. And being hard-headed, as I'm always, if somebody tells me I cannot do it, I usually go for it. So I went, after just starting to meditate, I went to 1 month almost silent retreat. And let me tell you, it is a lot of suffering. But nothing is always never wasted. So at least I can take something from that, to home from that retreat. It's an interesting thing to watch the pain for 1 month. So I can endure pain in my body, which is not a good thing actually. But one thing which is I got from that retreat is that I realized that if I do something nice for others, it brings happiness to my mind, and that happiness creates calm mind. What I did one day, we were eating. It was almost like a Zen retreat where everything is quite formal, and I really did suffer a lot because I wasn't used to sitting on the ground. I'm now more used to it, but it has taken me years, having had really strong muscles in one point before I started. But we were eating, and I had this really nice orange. I remember, if I remember correctly, and I peeled the orange, and I take, you start eating the orange, and it was so nice. It was just happened to be really, really tasty orange. And so I decided, there was like a person sitting next to me, and we've been sitting for maybe a couple weeks next to each other. And I decided I peeled the rest of the orange, and I really carefully removed the white stuff from it and all that, made sure it's really nice. And then I gave half of to him, instead of eating it all myself. I didn't take it all to myself. And you know what happens? We all know what happens. It stays in your mind. Those little, gifts, those little acts of kindness, they stay in your mind. You know how it is. And that has followed me ever since. If I have we're sitting in Bodhinyana, there's 23 monks of us. You've been sitting with somebody, your friend, from your left and right. You always associate with the same monks, day in, day out. After a while, you don't really think anything of it. How do you elate from that? How do you go from that sort of like, from that point of it doesn't really bring any kind of feeling? It's just sort of dullness. How can you, not even dullness, but just sort of person you don't pay too much attention to. It's not good or bad. It's just a person sitting next to you year in, year out. If I have something nice, dessert or something, I'll try to share it with. Being on my right is usually it's been for, over 7 years, Bhante Bodhidaja, who's going to come here soon. A very good monk, a friend of mine. We've been in this journey together since we started in Bodhinyana together as Anakargas 2010. That act of giving to him elates my mind. Whether it's just a ripple effect, whether I don't have to put effort into it. The effort was in that giving, and then it stays there. Sometimes we have this idea of contemplation. The contemplation comes quite often automatic. And if you allow the mind to calm down, you start looking into those places where the gratitude comes automatic. You have to put a little bit of effort into just point it that way. Point it into that direction. And that's what Ajahn Brahm been teaching me for so many years, and it works. The effort into this practice is not concentration. The effort into this practice is letting go. The effort in this practice is not trying to find out why things are like the way they are. Sure, sometimes you can look at it a little bit. Okay, yep, that happened again and it's coming from there. But you cannot learn the world. It doesn't work that way. World is too complex. Your karma is too complex. Use it to advantage. Use it as like the gratitude. Put more money in the bank account if you don't have enough, if you feel dull and depressed. But I was taught in the beginning that we have to do the contemplation. When I started meditation, one of the groups was like that. You meditate and then you go into the sort of like a reflection mode. It's too early. It should happen more automatic. And it will happen automatic if you put it into your hard head that there's nothing you have to do. What you have to do is let go. What do you have to do? Let go. Surely I should be doing something. No. Don't do anything. It's all automatic. Ajahn Brahm simile, stay in the bus, don't get in the driver's seat. It really works. You just have to trust the path to work. You have to trust that if I put in the effort of just letting it go. Sure, there's anger in your mind. Let it go. If it's really, really bad, then you have to try to subsidize. Is that a good word? You try to change it into different perception. But if you can endure, it doesn't last that long. Try it. If you have a lot of anger, and try to look at it. Keep looking at it. See how long you can make it last. It won't last that long. But if you try to ignore it, try to push it away, you get angry about the anger. You don't like it. I don't want my mind to be like that. You keep dwelling on it for days on end. And I've done it. I regularly do that. And then once in a while you just, all right, that's not the way to do it, and that's not what the Buddha taught. The Buddha taught by love alone, by non-hatred, hatred will ever cease. Sometimes I used to teach the non-hatred that's metta. It is partly like that, but it's if you say non-hatred, that's even more it's more neutral feeling almost. It's almost like oh gosh, right. Well, I don't have to try to create the metta because a lot of people say it doesn't work. It doesn't. They cannot bring the feeling in. Well, can you just bring the feeling of non-hatred? I don't have to worry about it. Is that something you can do? Surely. But if you're shining the torch into the corners of your life and it's still not beautiful, going back a little bit on this talk is you need to put effort into certain things. Physically, mentally. Physically is that, acts of kindness, whether it's helping the monks and nuns, bringing dana, coming and cleaning here, maybe, doing the raking outside in the field, or mentally, where it's you look at the things and you look at them with the eyes of gratitude. I've been here for almost 2 years now, and we achieved a lot. I mean, it's just partly my effort, but I've been part of this big ship which we're steering, and I take this as my gift to everybody, and I take this with me wherever I go. The Buddha told us to meditate, don't delay. Be an island to yourself. Everywhere you go, you're by yourself. Whether you're with your family and friends, whether you're in the monastery, you are by yourself. And obviously, at the deathbed, your fame won't follow you. Your money won't follow you. Your possessions, your mind, even that really doesn't follow you. It's an interesting thing about what's there after you pass away. Your body, definitely you have to leave it behind. But there's something there which is with you. It's that karma which follow, and it comes in a fruition. And if you don't put in the effort, the effort of letting go, the effort of doing goodness, if you don't do that, you are not maybe putting enough effort into your future happiness. Whether it's here now, giving the fruit, and you feel, feeding the dog, you feel happiness now. But whether it's the happiness that follows. My favorite simile of a tree, which is Mahanama was dying, one of the Buddha's disciples. I've probably told this too many times, but it's always good to repeat. Mahanama was dying, and he was worried. He said he was what's going to happen to me, Buddha. He wanted to, I guess, Buddha to tell him the future, where I'm going to go. Do I have a good rebirth? I bet you a lot of people would be wanting to know that. So the Buddha said, "Don't worry, Mahanama." It's he asked quite often. The Buddha used logic. He was he made people to come to the conclusion themselves. He didn't tell them how it is exactly. He said, "Well," he asked Mahanama, "What do you think, Mahanama? When there's a tree in the forest and it's slanting and sloping towards the east, and then there's strong men come from the village, and they're gonna cut down the tree from the root, from the bottom of the tree. Which way will the tree fall down? Does it fall down into south, north, west, or east?" Mahanama said, "Obviously, it will fall down towards east because it's slanting and sloping towards east." He said, "The same way, Mahanama, If you have respect for the Buddha, our teacher, first Kalyanamitas, now we have other Kalyanamitas. The Dhamma, the teaching, if you have respect towards the teaching, give an ear to the teaching, you put the effort of there as well. You have to practice in there, but that comes after this. And the Sangha, the teachers, the monks and nuns, the Sangha as a whole, not as an individual teacher, obviously. And the Sila, which leads to right stillness. The Sila which leads to right stillness. As a fourth, you will always slope and slant towards the Nibbana. You will not fall away from it. So I remember that quite often, that I have to put that effort into that, the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and the Sila, which leads into the right concentration. Which leads into the right stillness. If you have that, if you have the I only remember the Pali Navaja Sukha, the happiness of mind which is pure, the pure mind, the happiness which comes from that. If you have that, that will lead you into right samadhi, right stillness, right, and then from that you get the fruits and benefits. We have all these things, and the Buddha gave us the very, very clear path, and we as monks, that's our duty to remind, and not just, we don't just remind you because we need to give these talks. By giving these talks, we remind ourselves. Teaching is always a great thing, and it's part of our training. Ajahn Brahm says to give talks is actually part of your training, and that again comes from the time of the Ajahn Chah. Quite often Ajahn Brahm says that in early days of when he was in Thailand, he would just, after 1 year, Ajahn Chah would just say, you give the talk, 400 people, you barely speak Thai, and you have to give a Dhamma talk. How's that going to go? It doesn't matter. It's part of your training. Part of my training is to give Dhamma talks. And it does make me happy, and it does make me appreciate what I've learned. It reminds me what I've learned. It reminds me of I'm part of this community. I'm not just quite often what happens in when you're in a big monastery and you have senior monks like Ajahn Brahm, Ajahn Brahmali, Ajahn Api, all these living at Ajahns. Couple years I'll be an Ajahn. You feel like it's not so much of us. It's sure the senior monks are there doing it, but it's been a great experience here being a part of the PSV now and part of this project. I felt that I was really part of this community. It is bigger part that people actually do come and feed. Sure, they don't just come because they want to feed the senior monks. They come and feed us all. It is. I felt more appreciated. Not that it doesn't happen in Bodhinyana, where I'm going to go now within a couple of weeks, but it's just, you just get that, you feel like it. It's not that people want to make you feel that, but it just comes automatic. But it's all of us, whether you are in the monastery raking, making walking path, or washing dishes. It is, you are part of this project. And when you walk the path, if you stay in a bus, you will get more and more peaceful. It's automatic. You just have to give it time. If the mind is dull in the beginning, there's a little bit of endurance to be done, but it's all right. I definitely noticed that my mind is a bit dull recently. I think I've been pushing a bit too much, but now I just have to endure it a little bit and then I think the happiness will. I'm sure the happiness will come from there, and I'm very happy to go and see my friends and Bodhinyana. There will be great monks coming here, taking over this place for a while. I'll be back, help here again, hopefully. Who knows what's going to happen. I wanted to say that few words. So please feel free to waste my valuable time by asking questions. Don't be so concerned about your time, or your personal life. It's not so. In the big scheme of things, it doesn't matter. There's no questions. The questions will come. So I just have a sip of water. Chinlook, you must have something to ask me.
Thank you, Bhante. Very interesting talk, very relevant. So far, we haven't received any question. Obviously, goes to show the talk has been very clear, concise, and very relevant. But we still have some time for those who want to pose some question. Please feel free to do so. While we're waiting there for some question, if I can just make a quick announcement on behalf of BSV. Next Sunday, the Sunday talk will be given by Ajahn Nisarano. And I think most of us know Ajahn Nisarano. He's really no stranger to BSV. He's a senior monk, so has been a regular visitor to Buddhist Society of Victoria. So I think he'll be given talks from Buddha Loka Center next Sunday, I believe. The details will be available in the coming newsletter. So just stay tuned for this week's newsletter. Ajahn, for those who don't know Ajahn Nisarano, he's a senior monk, I think with more than 20 years of reigns. So he's due to arrive today. So we are really excited to have him here.
Right. Okay, so he's coming now to Victoria, and then he's gonna take a rest for a while, and then he's gonna give the Dhamma talks on there. Unfortunately, I do have to say that please don't. We are still in the restrictions with the virus, so be careful. Don't go flocking the city center. Be mindful. Please read the newsletter. Adrian is going to post, our president at the moment. He's going to post how to give dana, whatever, all those things. But please do apply with the government regulations. And if we cannot let you in our city center, do understand that it's not us. It's the regulations are like that.
Bhante, someone just posted a quick question. The question is, are you going back to WA, and who will be the abbot in Newbury?
Well, first of all, I'm not the abbot. Chinlook is leading this place. Funny thing is, like, I just, the Buddha statue here. I was in Thailand in the Christmas period, and I was with Ajahn Kanha, who gave us this little Buddha statue, beautiful statue. Beautiful monk, and he said, "Where are you at the moment?" And I said, Ajahn Brahm is getting a new monastery he's not getting, but he's helping to build a new monastery in Victoria, Melbourne, and I'm there helping with the project. And he said, "Oh, you're the abbot." So I'm not really the abbot. I'm just sort of. It's an interesting thing. It feels a bit too formal for me, but I mean, I have been leading this project for a while. But there will be 4 monks here. I will still hoping Ajahn Nisarno. He's a bit of he doesn't like cold too much, and like I said, we're living amongst the clouds here. We're not sure we have really a formal abbot position at the moment. You need somebody who's staying here permanently. Ayopega will lead the female community, she's been doing for a long time, done a great job. We also appreciate her a lot. I find her really nice to live with. And then will be 3 monks. Ajahn Chitapalo, a German monk from Bodhinyana, Bhante Chunda and Bhante Bodhidharma are good friends of mine who are ordained together 9 years ago. So there will be 3 monks. They're sort of co-leading the monastery and helping with the Buddhist Society of Victoria. So I'm sure the place is in good hands, and I'll, if I'm needed, I'll come back. If not, then I'm happy to leave this to others.
Just another question, Bhante. The question is, you mentioned we could come and help around the new meditation hall and kutis. Is that right with the current restriction?
Help with the new meditation hall and kutis. I'm helping. So what's happening now, and I might be misunderstanding, but I'm going to a monastery in WA, Bodhinyana, Ajahn Brahm's monastery, and we are building 6 kutis there. We are currently building also office where we get. I think there's more and more these kind of things going online, Dhamma talk. So we're building a new office there. The kuti project there, the hut project there is it's going. As far as I understand, building project is fine. We can still keep going as long as we don't have people together, too many people. Construction is still okay. We also starting this project here, as many of you know, we're starting here on just a few hundred meters down from here where we're sitting at the moment. We're moving ahead with the project of building a lay center for all of you. So please, if you want to have a stillness in your mind and your heart, come, make sure you come and stay here then and help us with that project if you're so inclined. It's a beautiful project, but that will start within 6 months or something. But yes, here, with the cleaning, maybe that's what he meant. If you wanted to come and clean, we have to help. If you want to help this project now just a little bit, I hope this is not going to be people flocking here, but I don't think it's going to happen. We have to somehow make sure that we only have 2 people maybe together or something, like as a team, and then you clean 1 kuti. Or if you want to do, most of the landscaping is done at the moment, but but we have maybe a couple more weeks before I leave, and then the other monks. But if you want to help those things, yes, I think it's okay. Volunteering is okay. We looked into this, but we just have to have the social distancing and don't have too many people. So if I have 2 people, if you're a good cleaner and meticulous, well, then I just put you to clean this 1 kuti at a time. That's fine. I think that's fine. I know it is okay. Anything else?
Bhante, I think there's another question just came through. The comment is, Bhante, thank you so much for your talk. You have answered some of my questions. First, what helps get through this period of endurance before the peace comes?
I think I always like contentment. I mean, what helps with enduring something is just sort of like stick with it. You have to remember that this will also change. It's you have to have enough faith in that other people have gone through this. The Buddha himself said, I had dullness in my mind, and then I overcame with it, the drowsiness by rousing energy. The Buddha himself said, I had doubt. I overcame with the faith. I have. The Buddha himself, he said he had all of those same defilements. The Buddha himself, coming down, Ajahn Brahm had the same defilements himself. I certainly, let me assure you, I have all those same defilements than everybody else. But I have faith. I have faith in Ajahn Brahm. I have faith in the Buddha. I know that all of us, we are the same. So stick with it, and have, like I said, contentment is really, it's a nice antidote. Sometimes you just just happy to be here. You know, physical pain and all that, you don't have to endure it. Just sit on your couch somewhere, just relax, have a good time. Make sure you have a nice nest when you're sitting down. Make sure you're comfortable sitting. I'm comfortable sitting like this. Has taken me a long time, but I'm comfortable sitting like this. So just sit there, relax, and okay. So there's dullness in the beginning of the mind. Be willing to take it. It won't last that long. Anything else?
No, Bhante, we haven't received more question.
Anyways, it's getting to time. Yeah. Anything else?
Any
John
other
wants to say?
question from anyone?
Oh, from the audience.
Yeah, from the audience here. Do you remember we got a question?
We
from
have
the audience?
keeping social distancing and make sure you walk to the walking to yep. Okay, good. And yep, all right. So you have the microphone now.
Thank you, Bhante. I have 2 questions
Yeah,
for my friends.
for your friends. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. One who is physically not well.
Yeah.
Would you have any advice?
Yeah.
For him. Second question, it would be for my friends who feels like losing home.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Bhante.
Physical sickness. That's all we have it. We welcome of signing into. Did you read the small print in the when you were deciding to get born as a human? Did you read the small print? There will be sickness, old age, death will come as you sign in the paper, and you were like, you did sign the paper. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, it will be fine. I can take it. That being aside, said, whether your body is sick, has been taught by Ajahn Brahm for many years. Your mind doesn't have to be sick. Your mind doesn't have to go into why am I sick? Why does it always happen to me? Why my body doesn't behave the way it does? If you were your body, you could tell your body, let my body be this. Let my body not be sick. But can you tell your body that? No. So what does it mean? You are not your body. Basic teaching of non-self by the Buddha. Otherwise, you can, even with your mind, can you tell your mind, let my mind be happy? And then the mind is happy. No, you cannot tell your mind to be happy. You can incline your mind towards it. You can put a physical effort from getting inspiration from us teachers, and then you go and do it, and then it happens. But it is cause and effect. Nothing to do with you. So your body, is it you? No. Can you do something about it? Yes. You can make it comfortable. You can take the, put in the, physical effort of making sure you take your body for a walk, like you take the dog for a walk, give it fresh air, take care of it, take the medication that as all of us, we have to do those things. But then the best thing is to let go of your body. Just, it's like, okay, don't pay attention to that body, which is that part of the body which is wrong. Maybe pay attention to the other parts. You are wrapped around that one part in your body, which is something is not right. What about the other parts? And don't think it will be like this forever. That's also what's now, sucks you in and won't let you go for a long time if you just think this is how it will be rest of my life. Having a chronic illness myself, I know it's easy to fall to that thing where you think easily go into that mindset of this is how it will be rest of my life. And it might be, but I don't know. It might not be. I'm still not hopeful, but I'm learned to live with it. You have to learn to live with it. losing your house, your apartment, your place to live is also very, very stressful in your life, because I've been there myself. I was lived in a foreign country. I have no money, and I was kicked out the house. And what can you do? It is a very big jolt, and leaves a scar in your mind. It leaves, you don't feel secure. And that's what we're looking for, having these places where you want to have a security. But remember, life is not like that. And again, do you know what's going to happen in the future? No, you don't. Will this create understanding for the people who are suffering? Yes, it will. Nothing is ever wasted. Will you, because of this, the thing is, if you look then it's like, oh, well, this is interesting. If you have, it's going to be interesting to see what happened in the future. Sometimes we resist so much of the change, but sometimes change is good. Most of the time is good. And everything, whether you like it or lump it, change will happen. So life is changing all the time. Do you think everything is impermanent? Do you think everything will be always like this? No, it won't. So if nothing is permanent, nothing is reliable, nothing is yours. Nothing is, then everything is suffering. The basic teaching of the Buddha. So go with the flow, try to have curiosity. It's okay, maybe it will be better. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. And if you do, please come and talk to me. Maybe we can put the lottery ticket in. But if you don't, well, you just have to trust that the future is uncertain, and I have to try to relate to with the positive attitude. Meditation, seeing good monks and nuns, looking the Dhamma talks. They should be uplifting you. One way. Very good.
We got another interesting question, Bhante. Ready for this?
Ready, okay.
Did you read the small print when deciding to come back as human?
Well, obviously not. What did I read the small print? Oh, well. When I was a young child, what happened? I was about 4 years old, from 4 to 7, let's say. I thought I was an adult. For some reason, I had this revelation that I know everything. I know how the world works. I felt like an adult. So there's something which carried from the past life. And then, you know what happened? I was just meditating the other day, and one thing came to my mind, which the things in life, even as a little child, how much suffering it is. So one day I was in my first grade. I was 7 years old, and I decided I should kiss this girl. So then I did it. I just sneaked behind the corner and just kissed her. And then she decided that, well, she was like 1 year older, so she was 8 years old. So then she decided in her mind that I'm her boyfriend. And I just said, oh no, this didn't go down well. I started to think about all this, what happens in the boyfriends and girlfriend. Well, like, then I have to have a family. And I was like, oh my God, I just started school and now I have to have a family. And then I was like, I probably have to go to work soon. And it was my first grade. Now I have to go to work, start making living. And I was like, I'm not ready for this. I saw the suffering. And I decided, it's like, well, this is not good. I still want to be a child. So I decided to go back to the child, like being a child again. So from 4 to 7 I was adult, and then I regressed again, being because of this trauma of having to be a boyfriend. So I was so traumatic that you know what happens, and why didn't I read the small print is when you die, your mind goes automatically into one direction. Why was I born as a Finn? And there's some kind of habit which drew me in there. And I wasn't mindful enough. I was I had interesting experiences when I was young. I might talk those later. It's getting a bit late, but because I had a lot of time. My childhood was very boring. So I had a lot of time not to do anything. But the thing is, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just a joke. Did I read the small print? Obviously not. Maybe it's a topic when I come back in, I don't know when. But yeah, no, I think most of us we didn't. I'm sorry. Or what was I doing at the time with the Buddha? Why didn't I get enlightened then? Because I'm not a very smart person. I think that's the reason. Well, here we go again. What to do? Let's try to make it good this time. Yeah, all of us.
Yes, that's true, Bhante. I suppose before we wrap up, just want to say, Bhante, there's been a lot of warm messages pouring in, over the last hour or so, half an hour. So again, just to summarize it, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Back to WA.
Yep.
Thank you very much for your wonderful teaching. Thanks for leading the MBN project, and it was a complete success. So really, thanks again, and I guess hope to see you back again in the near future. And also on behalf of BSV, just want to say a few things, Bhante. So on behalf of BSV AV team, thank you for being the first to give a live stream Dharma talk on the YouTube channel.
Did I? Okay.
First came off the rank. And the first to give a live guided meditation on BSV Dharma Radio from NBN. And the first to give a Dharma talk from NBN on Skype. And lastly, the first to give a live stream Dharma talk on our YouTube channel from NBN. Thank you for being willing to be part of the testing, different ways we can distribute the Dharma, as well as everything you have brought to BSV and NBN throughout your stay.
Coolies. All right. Yeah, I'm being happy to be part of it, and we'll leave it here. I usually, I've been told I don't bow. I always forget because I'm so wrapped up about these talks. Let's do the just bow 3 times to the Buddha, and that's it. Nice to talk to you all. Very good. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivade Namo Bhagavata Sagasana. Oops, oh, sorry. Dhammang Namassam. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangham Namassam.